Something tells me Man City are going to be back next season. They've got the Club World Cup coming up and they're not messing about. We knew it was going to happen, but they've finally got a deal done for Reijnders. David Ornstein has confirmed an agreement has been reached with AC Milan for Reijnders' 55 million euro fee, which is about 48 million pounds, which I think is good business. I see people on Twitter saying it's bad business, but I think that's a really good fee. I think he's a really good player. He's 26, he's in his prime. 5-year contract. He's going to have the medical. The move's going to be complete. Fabrizio Romano then said, "Here we go, Reijnders to Man City. Verbal agreement in place for the Dutch midfielder to join City. It could go up to 70 million euros, which is about 58 million pounds, I believe, which I still think is good business. It will only go up to that amount if he's good. And I'm going to talk about Reijnders in a second, actually. I've got some notes on him and his tactical fit and what he brings and why it's a good signing. But it's like Reijnders is done, cool. And they ain't going to stop there. Like, you could get the Cherki Here We Go today. Cherki's basically essentially done because, understand, City and Cherki have reached an agreement on personal terms. Official bid from Man City is going to be submitted in coming hours. City know the price. Lyon will set to submit the bid. City want it done before, of course, the Club World Cup begins. Blah, 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 blah. And that looks like it's going to be done. So Reijnders is done. Cherki is basically essentially done. It could be done today. And then Ait Nouri. It's not even stopping there. They're advancing on an Ait Nouri deal. Now, I'm a Manchester United fan, unfortunately, yes. And I really want Ait Nouri. I really want another wing back. It's so important to Amrin's system. Ait Nouri's worked with Cunha before. I kept tweeting the other day before he was linked to City, Man United should move for Ait Nouri. I said that in April. So it's very painful to see Cherki, who I've been bigging up and saying I'm a big fan of Cherki. I like him. He'd be a good signing for Man United. Reijnders, who last year I was like, oh, he's a good midfielder. Maybe United could watch him. Reminds me of Gundogan to go to City. And then we've got Ait Nouri, who was hyping up a couple of months ago, like, Amrin needs this guy. We need a wing back going to City. And he's going to offer such a different dynamic to Guardiola. So I want to talk about these players, how they can improve Manchester City and why, yeah. I'm a little bit worried about City next season. So Reijnders. Now Reijnders is, I believe, 26 years of age, and he is a box-to-box midfielder. Could play deeper if you wanted, but in my opinion, he's a number 8. Now he's got 10 goals and 4 assists this season in Serie A. He could, he's not a De Bruyne replacement. I wouldn't say he's a 10, but City could play 2 8s. He's quite attacking-minded in terms of his contributions going forward. I think he's a really, really good player. 14 goal contributions this season, and I think he brings what Gundogan has lacked. Now, I think Gundogan in this late run and this second half of the season for City has been good, but he did struggle when he first came back first half of the season. And I think his legs is going Gundogan, and I think with Rodri out, you notice it more. Whereas if Rodri's back, Rodri's got the legs, so if Gundogan's legs have gone, it's not the be-all and end-all. But Reijnders brings, I think, everything that Gundogan has given in his prime, plus the legs that City need in midfield. Like, he's giving, the smart timing, the late box runs, good in tight spaces. He's an 8. He makes those dangerous runs into the box. I remember Gundogan a couple of seasons ago had that period where he couldn't stop scoring. Gundogan can score, he can cause problems, and Reijnders can do that. He's good with his timing, his late box runs. He's good on the ball. But what I like about Reijnders, and this is what I've been saying that Man United need, is a midfielder that is good on the ball and smart between the lines. A guy's a monster off the ball, duel winner, but we don't have a midfielder at Man United that's smart between the lines, and it annoys me that City do and Arsenal do and all these other clubs do, and then City are going to have add another one. One of the best midfielders in Serie A when it comes to on the ball between the lines. He can press, he's got the legs. City really struggled athletically this season. Man City have always been good technically, but the athletic levels went down this season with the injuries, and that's where I think you got caught out. And now you've got someone that's very composed on the ball, very athletically good, very good between the lines, can press, has got the energy, and he's been unbelievable in Serie A. Unlike some of City's current midfielders, as I said, he's got the legs, he's got the stamina. Gundogan, I think, is losing it. Bernardo's losing it. Kovacic's losing it. I think they've been quite good lately in the late running, but City definitely need that freshness there. The Premier League is very much about physicality and intensity. And I think City really struggled in midfield at times. I think Gonzalez is going to be good next season. I know Gonzalez has been hit and miss, but I'm a big fan of Nico Gonzalez, and something tells me that he will be good. Something tells me that him, Rodri, Reijnders, I think you might bring in a 10, because I still think Cherki is more of a long-term Bernardo Silva replacement than I don't know, like maybe that's just me. That may be a De Bruyne replacement, but then a part of me thinks you could go Rodri as the DM, Reinders as the left eight, and Cherki is potentially the right eight. It could work, but I think Cherki would like a bit more freedom higher up. But I think City's midfield is going to be insane next season. I think you're also going to bring in another 10. I know Gibbs White is set to stay now, but someone for that 10 role. I also believe, Nico Gonzalez will be good. I think, particularly with Rodri back. But in terms of tactical fit, he's perfect for the left eight. He could rotate with Foden if Foden finds form. He could play deeper. Foden could be a 10. Cherki could act as a 10 if need be. He can recycle possession. He's going to be good for midfield control, but he's intelligent. He's going to find the space. He's going to get between the lines. He's going to create the triangles. He's got intelligence. And who else has intelligence? Cherki. Cherki, when it comes to technical ability, pure footballing ability, intelligence, top 0.1% of football players. De Bruyne is going, Bernardo's getting older, City needs someone with that flair, that technical magic again, and Cherki brings that. There's going to be questions over his work rate and, him following Pep's instructions. He likes a little bit of a free role, he likes to be technical, but we've seen with Marmoush coming in that Pep adjusted a bit to get the better out of that player and get the better out of this player. And Marmoush, I think, has been incredible, and I think he will with Cherki. He's a clever manager, Pep, and I don't know what he was doing in the FA Cup final in the Southampton game, but the second half of the season, Pep found something that worked. For some reason, he changed it for the FA Cup final, and you were much better the second half of the season. Now, obviously, he's one of the most skillful players in Europe, dribbling, unpredictability. If you watch Cherki, it's just like, what's he going to do? Both feet, what's he going to do? Like, dribbling, that's a really bad explanation. I just went, but that's the way I explain Cherki. He's just like, he's got the ball, his touch, his control, his movement, his pass, his intelligence. He can turn, very good player. Obviously watched Man United, Lyon, and the two legs as well. Cherki had his goal, he had his moments. Yeah, very good player. It caused Man United issues, done it against Premier League opposition. I mean, everyone causes issues, so I don't know if that's a good thing. But, Mahrez had that creative instinct and that technical flair. He's got a bit of that. He's got a bit of what City have missed. I still think they might look at a 10 and he could be going on the right, but he's got a lot of what City have missed. But he can play 10, he can play on the right. You give him a free role and he could be good. Like, I think he'll be a 10 or a wide right player. I think he'll get between the lines in that free role and he'll create. And he'll bring elements of the creativity that you will miss with De Bruyne going. He's good at getting the ball in the half turn, unlocking low blocks, moving the ball. He's not rapid, but he's very good at setting the tempo as a player because he's so good at controlling the ball. I think in terms of technical ability, he's top. There is questions about the Premier League, how it will translate, how he will do with the demands of the Premier League, the physicality, Pep giving him instructions. There's always questions about that with Cherki. But in terms of technical ability, he's got it. He got 12 goals and 20 assists as well this season, which is 32 goal contributions in 3,000 minutes, which is literally a goal contribution a game. And, just creativity, ability to pick out the pass, like he's going to really help City in that sense. This is his map. He can play anywhere. I think he's better as a right 10. I think in the right half space, that's where he operates best, but he can play as a 10. He can play as a centre forward. He can play, I wouldn't play him as a centre mid, but he's got that versatility. I think he will be attacking midfield, right half space kind of areas. So I'd say his strengths are ball control, dribbling, vision, through balls, quick feet, in tight areas, technical ability, touch, control, movement, passing, IQ, take risks, confidence, dribbling. They're all his strengths. So Cherki and Reijnders is two top signings. And then Ait Nouri. And I'm going to say something now about Man City, and this is at Arsenal. I've never been a fan of having fullbacks that aren't fullbacks. Like, Guardiola is great, but, I don't like this whole centre-back at fullback. Ben White was once a centre-back, he's now a right-back. Guardiola was once a centre-back, he's now a left-back. Timber was once a centre-back, he's now a right-back. Obviously, Nunes just had to go right-back as a midfielder for other reasons. But I really prefer when teams have those attacking fullbacks. You've got Liverpool bringing in Kirkers and Frimpong. It's just better, in my opinion. That's maybe my unpopular opinion, but because it worked in that treble-winning season because you had that core of Rodri, De Bruyne, all at the top of their game. But I do think we're getting to a period where, as good as I think Guardiola is, I do think having a traditional fullback is what you want. Now, Guardiola offers power, composure, but Ait Nouri's going to bring that flair, agility, and running power, that width and that natural thing that he's a natural left back. I think it will give Pep something different tactically. And Guardiola can also play centre back if needed. Now, with Ait Nouri, he's good in transition. He's good at carrying up the ball. is going to add something that I don't think City have had an out-and-out left-back for a very, very long time. Have you? Like an out-and-out proper left-back. Because even Zinchenko was more of a midfielder that went to left-back. And, Mendy's the one, doesn't really count as barely. I can't remember what Mendy did at City, But I feel like under Pep, he could be moulded into, maybe he could invert, but I think he'll be used to stretch play. And I think he could be dangerous because he can dribble from deep. He's a progressive carrier. He can drive past players with ease. He's got the pace. He's got the ability to overlap. And look, don't know what Pep's going to do and how he's going to use him. He might have different plans, but he can overlap. He can invert. He can get up and down the flank. He's going to bring that much needed, I feel like, power and progression, ball carrying progression. He's one of those signings that's a very Man City signing of a Premier League proven player that has got the powerful ability to get up, to make things happen, and that's what Ait Nouri brings. There's also links of City looking at Livramento. There's links of you looking at another 10, a new goalkeeper. Like City look like they could be doing some really good business this summer. Anyway, Man City fans, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.